We're just 1 week away from signing day here in early February, and that means it is a very busy time in the recruiting scene right here in Arizona. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Recruiting Roundup. I'm Jordan Ham, bringing in my good buddy Jason Jewell. And Jason, we have quite a few commitments to get to. What a week it has been for NAU, adding 3 impact makers on the football field.
The Lumberjacks and Chris Ball, new head coach, got 3 absolute steals, in my opinion, just this last week. Absolutely killed it. First one is Eloy Cuete, defensive tackle at Central High School, was previously committed to UMass. New staff came in, and they ended up parting ways, but Cuete is going to head up there. Again, just an impact player, I think, for NAU. Hendricks Johnson, a fantastic wide receiver at Boulder Creek High School, led 6A in receiving yards. Very, very good and productive last 2 years for Johnson. And then on Sunday night, they get a commitment from Terrell Hayward down at Cienega, a kid that can do it all, dynamic punt returner, very good receiver, and had several interceptions on the defensive side of the ball. This is a kid that had 4 FBS offers at one point, so I think NAU is getting a steal in him.
Castile wide receiver Zach Nelson had a great year last year as well, and he's a guy that Southern Utah was pursuing quite a bit. He wants to be a pilot, so they actually brought him up in a plane. They have a strong aviation program, and that seemed to seal the deal for them as they get one of the top wide receivers in the state as well.
Yeah, Nelson is the one that got away from Northern Arizona because the Lumberjacks had offered him as well, but commits to Southern Utah, so he's going to play against those Lumberjacks several times over the next couple of years. And, again, a very fantastic player that had a breakout senior year, one of the leading receivers in all of the state, really, last year. A very good, very productive football player that, in my opinion, was one of the most under-recruited players in the state. I think is a good get for Southern Utah.
And while we're on the topic of wide receivers, Daysal Puffer over at Chandler, you said after early signing day, this is a guy that could really heat up, and he makes his pledge to Idaho.
Yeah, another guy that's going to end up staying in the Big Sky. What a very good group of receivers that are going to be playing there over the next 4 or 5 years. And I want to give a shout out to Stephen Miller, former Hamilton Husky, who's in his first year coaching at Idaho as a full-time coach. He gets Puffer as well as David Eppinger from Chandler, Sully Shannon from Brophy High School, Satchel Escalante at Scottsdale Community College, and still in the mix for the Hatton twins over at Saguaro, as well as Marquis Johnson.
It was a really strong week for the wide receivers making their commitments. Zach Nelson, 3rd in the state in receiving yards last year. Hendricks Johnson was 4th. Now let's shift gears to the offers and the Saguaro SaberCats. 14 Power 5 offers were handed out last week for those SaberCats, but it wasn't just those schools. You also had the Ivy League. You also had Idaho. It's a very busy week for the Saguaro SaberCats and Jason Mons.
Yeah, so I just mentioned, the Hatton twins that were previously committed to Brown. They decommitted and are going on visits to Idaho. And then Marquis Johnson going to visit Idaho as well, but got an offer from Sacramento State. Then talking about the big-time schools, junior Matt Polk, safety, got offered by Oklahoma State and Purdue. Bram Walden, very talented offensive tackle. Big week for him. Gets Oregon, LSU, Auburn, and Utah. Damian Sellers, a very good junior pass rusher, adds Auburn and Purdue. Jalen Jeffers, a junior offensive tackle, adds LSU, Michigan, and Colorado. Jacoby Covington, junior safety, gets Colorado, Purdue, and Oklahoma. And then Israel Benjamin, very talented running back. The Ivy Leagues like him. Princeton, Harvard, Dartmouth, Yale, and Columbia all extend offers to the junior running back.
Another strong week for the guys in the trenches. We have the usual suspects, Tosh Baker and Noah Nelson, but also Jonah Miller and Andrew Milik. Miller gets his 3rd Pac-12 offer. Milik gets his 1st offer from a Pac-12 program.
Yeah, Miller is a 2021 prospect down at South Point High School. He adds an offer from the University of Arizona, took an unofficial visit there this last weekend. And Milik at Brophy High School gets his 1st offer, is not going to be his last. Is a very talented guy that I think blows up in the spring evaluation period, gets his 1st offer from Colorado. And then you mentioned Baker and Nelson. They continue to blow up with offers. Baker got Purdue and Colorado, while Nelson got Colorado and Utah.
A busy week for the city of Chandler. All 4 6A Chandler schools have guys that are picking up offers.
Yeah, so Brendan Rice over at Hamilton High School, junior wide receiver, adds Oklahoma State and Colorado, while sophomore defensive end Brandon Buckner at Chandler High adds an offer from Arizona State. Gunnar Maldonado over at Chandler, a junior safety, adds Arizona. Chubba Purdy, the quarterback junior over at Perry High School, gets Yale. Parker Jacobs, a senior at Basha High, gets an offer from Drake. And then staying at Basha, junior corner Micah Harper gets offered by Air Force.
And keeping it with the defense, 4 more guys across the state pick up some big offers this week on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, Lathan Ransom, a junior safety at South Point High School, continues to blow up. He gets a big offer from Ohio State. Jason Harris, the junior D end over at Higley, was offered by Auburn. While the Ivy League still continued to love junior linebacker Brock Lochnikar from Notre Dame, he gets offered by Dartmouth. And then Stephen Ortiz, an underclassman DB over at Desert Edge High School, gets his 3rd scholarship offer, and it comes from NAU.
We are a week away from that February signing day. Keep it here on the Recruiting Roundup each and every week for your recruiting updates on Sports 360 AZ.